everybody, it's Julie. Thanks for joining me here today on my channel. I'm back with a Bible journaling process video, and I'm here in 1 Chronicles 16 verses 10 and 11. I'm going to start off by using this stamp. It's a background stamp from Sweet and Sassy Stamps called Floral Background. And it is actually the stamp of the month for February, which means that if you purchase $60 worth of product, you get this one for free. But you do have to add it to your cart in order to get that discount. So what I did is I stamped it without even putting it on a block so that I wouldn't get the full image. I just wanted kind of a messy look there. And now I'm using this stamp set called Seek Him, and then an alphabet stamp called Chunky Lowercase. And what I'm doing here in verses 10 and 11 of chapter 16 of 1 Chronicles, it says, "Honor his holy name. Let the hearts of those who seek the Lord rejoice. Seek the Lord and his strength. Seek his face always." So seek has been my word of the year for 2021. And I've done some study, and on this particular verse, it really brought some things to light. That there are two separate words, two separate meanings for the word seek. And one of them is in Hebrew, it is bakash. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but that means to desire, to require, to search by any method. So that's really how we feel and our thoughts. And that's what it means to crave him, to desire, to require him. I need Jesus. To search by any method. That's with our mind. And then the other seek is darash, which means to follow, to pursue, and especially in worship and prayer. So that one's really more what we do with our actions. And specifically, it's in worship and prayer. That's how we pursue him. That's how we seek him, is in our worship and in our prayer and in our study of the word. So on screen here, I have stamped my title, and now I'm coming in with just some really messy, loose watercoloring. This is the Jane Davenport Brights palette, and I'm coming in, I wet the areas first. I spritzed it and then actually put that paintbrush, a wet paintbrush, over it first so that it would make that watercolor paint just kind of pull and move a little bit. So again, I'm going for a very messy look here. And what I'm going to end up doing is coloring in my title. I struggle with this a bit because I find that the title is being overshadowed by all that color. So you'll see I come back in and actually cover it with some white acrylic paint just to tone it down, and then I even do it off screen later after I've finished this project. I look at it and I think it needs more color, so I come back in and just dab a little bit of color on it. So I went through a real process with this page, with this art, but that's okay. That is okay. So I colored in my verse and I colored in the word seek with that pink, and I do dry that. I actually come in and I iron this page too as well. I don't show that on screen, but you just use a very low setting, the lowest of settings on your iron. Make sure you have a paper towel in between, and I am doing that before I put any stickers or any adhesive or anything like that, because the heat could mess up any type of adhesive you have on there. So now I'm coming in and doing some splattering with those same colors that I used. I love this watercolor palette from Jane Davenport. The colors are beautiful. The only problem is it doesn't have a black, and I am going to come in with some black in just a moment. I always like to add a little bit of black to tone it down, to anchor it, to really balance all the color. So I pulled out my Illustrated Faith set, which I use primarily for the black. I use the other colors too, but that black is used a lot. So now I'm going to come in and shade the word Crave with some of that pink. So I'm using my aqua brush, and I just put a little bit down. I'm using my Tim Holtz and Tonic Studios craft media mat, the glass mat, and over there it has a craft mat. It's really just a functional tool to use and to work on, and you can just clean it up. I think you might have seen me, instead of stamping off onto some scrap paper, I just use that craft mat and stamp off of that, and then I can clean it up easily. So I'm coming in now and adding the word is in these stickers, and I have looked for this set. It's a Tim Holtz alphabet, and it's no longer available, but I'm going to keep using them. So you can use any kind, any little black labels like that. I'm making some lines for my journaling, and I'm following the guides on my illustrating Bible mat, the illustrated Bible mat. So I just followed those lines that were set there. And now I'm putting my date stamp with my Mega Date Stamper from Studio Calico, outlining my verse. And here's where I'm struggling with the colors. So I'm going to come back in. First I'm going to add a little bit of white detailing to the word Crave. And then I realize that Seek, I just think it needs to pop out more. So I'm coming in with my black Pit Big Brush Marker, and I fill that in because I wanted it to stand out against the color. So I'm filling that in, but because I had that pink kind of smeared around it, it gives the shadow of the pink. And then I gave the pink shadow on the word Crave, so I just think that works better. I heat that with my heat tool, and then I'm going to come in with my white gel pen again and do a little bit of detailing, just fixing up some of the messy lines right now. A couple of the other things on my verse that were powerful is the word always. Seek his face always. Face means his countenance, his favor, or his presence. So when I'm seeking God, I'm seeking his presence. I want to be aware of his presence, and that he's always there, but am I aware of it? So I want to seek his presence. And then the word always, that was powerful because it meant to stretch. That's what the Hebrew word meant, to stretch. To stretch it throughout the day, to constantly pray, to perpetually pray, to constantly and perpetually seek God's face daily. And again, that word stretch, it's like it's an active choice on my part. I have to stretch myself. I have to be intentional about it and go beyond my comfort zone. So my study of this verse was very, very powerful. And it's just a reminder of what I need to be doing every day. So I'm going to make a tab here, and I'm just going to get some of that watercolor down on some messy scrap cardstock. It's not pretty, but I wanted to pull that out. I had a blank spot, so I'm going to use it. And I'm going to cut that out with my We Are Memory Keepers tab punch. But I do set that with my heat tool. And I also, it's kind of out of shot, but you'll see it in a little bit. I used a Bible clip, a journal clip, and it's crocheted, and it's from Hugs and Stitches, which is an Etsy shop, and I have that linked, and it is just so precious. It's that same color blue, and I got them in a set of 3. There's a pink, there's a purple, and a blue. And she's got great stuff in her shop too, not just these clips, but some beautiful things. So on my tab, I put the word seek, and then I wrote down OLW for one little word, 2021. And I'm sticking that up there with my adhesive. Add a little bit of polka dotted washi that's a little bit translucent. This was from my stash. And now, here's where I'm coming in with that white acrylic paint. Now this is a heavy body, so I have to have a light hand, and I'm using a baby wipe. So you can still see the color through it, and it actually smears some of the color, especially those splatters, but I'm going to work with that. it just tones down those colors so that the title stands out a little bit more, and I'm good with that. You know, in some ways I think I should have left it as is, but I'm good with the way this turns out. So again, I'm just kind of embracing the smudges, and I go in and I smudge pretty much all the different splatters. And then you'll see at the very end in the still shots, I felt like this was too light and I needed a little bit of color, so I just came back in with those same colors and a paintbrush, and just on some of the flowers I added a dab of color. I was very messy with it. You can see here some of them I just came in and added a very light wash of that color. So there is my page. To seek him is to crave him. These are some still shots. I do have all the products linked in the description box, so check those out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much, and God bless. Bye-bye.